Hello pioneers! Welcome to another session of the first Pi convention. Today, we're featuring a community discussion panel about Pi governance and the Provisional Committee. In the white paper, we outlined that the Provisional Committee would be formed after the network reached at least 5 million members. The responsibilities of the Provisional Committee include soliciting suggestions from the wider community and proposing suggestions to the wider community. In addition, the committee may be organizing a series of online and offline conversations. In these conversations, pioneers will be able to provide input on the long-term governance structure of the network, and they will be representing, leading, and organizing the regional communities. For example, the organization of Pi conventions like this one will be part of the work of the Provisional Committee. So, we are taking the opportunity today to discuss and make progress on the formation of the committee. And hopefully, future global Pi conventions, along with more regional conventions, will be primarily organized by this committee. As the core team, we hope this provisional committee will be composed of members who contributed and will continue contributing to the Pi network. We also hope that committee members will have expertise in different areas that will be helpful to building the larger Pi ecosystem, and who have deep thoughts on how the Pi community can be organized on both the regional and global level. We are having this panel today to hear what the pioneers want the committee members to be and how they should be selected. We plan to incorporate your ideas in defining the future steps in forming this committee, and along the way, we may be able to surface some additional candidates for the committee itself.
Hello pioneers, my name is Chris and I'm on the community team of the PiCoreTeam.
In organizing this Pi panel, the PiCoreTeam has been soliciting short video responses from community members through an online application, chat moderator recommendations, and email reach outs. We asked vocal pioneers to express their opinions on 3 questions. What characteristics and qualities do you think a provisional committee member should have? 2. How should committee members be nominated and selected? 3. How long of a term should the committee members serve and why? About 900 pioneers submitted about 2,000 short video responses to voice their opinions in this panel. Because Pi panels are global discussions and are meant to spur conversations internationally within the Pi community, we required English as the language of the video submissions. The core team reviewed all the video submissions and selected a subset of them to be showcased in this panel due to time limitations and the audience's attention span. We tried to select videos that are representative of different viewpoints with different geolocations that are clear, articulate, and reasonable. Even if your video is not showcased in this broadcast, please know that we have listened to your ideas and we hope our selected videos also represent your views. For pioneers who did not participate in the discussion through video, please participate in the current section through posting your views through the topic button on the home screen today, where the core team and other community members can also view, upvote, or downvote. Now let's hear what representative pioneers think about the formation of the Provisional Committee. We'd like to clarify that any voices by non-core team members do not represent what the core team thinks or decides. The convention is meant to be a place where diverse and creative ideas from the community can emerge about how to solve issues and improve various aspects of our network, where we can continue our conversations and ideas can flourish.
I firmly believe that the provisional committee member must be financially and technologically sound. He or she must have the knowledge and experience in both the financial and technology landscape. Key decisions will be made in the future, and being equipped with the with this knowledge is an advantage. Morally, a provisional member must be honest, selfless, and has integrity. We have to remember that the purpose of Pi is for ordinary people to have access to cryptocurrency. And we want to avoid any self-interest threatening this. We want to make Pi as a tool in helping improve lives of the people. If possible, a provisional member must also represent different communities or region. Since Pi is a future global commodity, any future endeavors in different world markets is important, and culture and diversity is a factor that needs to be considered, and having a provisional member representing each region is great for us to penetrate these different world markets.
Okay, so regarding the qualities and the characteristics for the committee members, I believe PiCoreTeam should consider searching from people with experience in marketing, economics, and finance, as well as people with sufficient experience in the cryptocurrency field, because they can provide additional value on how to differentiate Pi from other cryptocurrencies, rather than just making a distinction between that and Bitcoin, for example. I also feel that PiCoreTeam should consider checking whether people have the allocated time that is required for this project. Clearly, it's not going to be like 1 hour a day. So this would be like a part-time or extra, at least for these committee members, maybe with no extra, wage attached to it. So people have to be, prepared for that. And these people need to have at least some sort of reputation in the community. I believe if they have been here for a while, they should have made their voice in one way or another. And if not, then they need to do it now. So keep a lookout for these people.
A provisional committee member should be able to talk about cryptocurrencies and how important Pi is as a cryptocurrency. They should be able to convince people to join the community and keep on mining, and also referring the other people to join the community to make it bigger.
Humility, loyalty, trustworthy, and honesty. These are the qualities that they should have.
Hey, this is Jazz Miami, a verified pioneer. And what characteristics and qualities do you think a provisional committee member should have to fulfill the responsibility of surfacing community voices and talents? Characteristics, qualities, skills, and knowledge. Speak clearly and concisely. Be sensitive to the feelings of other members. Be impartial and objective. Start and finish on time. Be approachable by community voices and talents. Have an understanding of the community. Be tactful and diplomatic. Have knowledge of the Pi Network's community key networks. Be able to delegate to community talents. Be a good strategist and work with community voices. Be a strong networker and engage with community voices. Be a good team builder and relate team building with community voices and talents. Consider succession planning across the community. Plan for skills development for themselves and the community. Have some sort of experience in community management. Show interest in other members' viewpoints and develop ways to integrate viewpoints of voices and talents. Have sound knowledge of Pi Network's work. Have an ability to respect confidences and secrets. Ensure decisions are taken, recorded, and executed. A few spoken languages would definitely be helpful for any provisional member committee.
Good afternoon. In my opinion, to form a committee, the member should be loyal. Also, he should be a genuine guy. That's the most important thing. Also, there should be committee members from each languages and each countries, so that some people don't know English, so they can use their languages. I am from India, so I prefer Malayalam. So that there should be a Malayalam committee, So Malayalis can speak in their own language. Also Hindi people, English people, French, France, or something. Some other peoples also will be there. So every person should have in this committee member.
Hello. The provisional committee members should be well versed on the technological matters in the digital currency, so that they can understand what the digital currency is, how it works, and how it can be beneficial to the whole community. So, and he or she also should have the economic background, some of the operational experience on the financial management, and some of the currency workouts, and that kind of experience can help them to contribute to the Pi community as a provisional member. And it will be even better if they have the management background or the good academic qualification as well, so that they can coordinate, they can understand, and they can collaborate together and can give the good suggestions to the Pi committee members as well. So a good blend of the academic qualifications as well as the relevant experience of the committee member, and having the good network of public community is a good choice for their being a provisional committee member.
First of all, I think it's important to look at a committee member not only by the individual, but as a whole group, because a group needs diversity. And I think when starting this group, it's important to have that in mind. Diversity, I mean both different ages, different backgrounds, education, and also different genders. So not only male or not only female, which is science proves that are better in terms of achieving their goals. When it comes to individual level, I believe it's important that the interest in actually doing a proper job and to be able to learn is almost as important as the academic background. Because if the people are not interested, then there's going to be a huge problem. When they're in terms of the academic background, I think it will be important to both have people with business background, technical backgrounds, and other fields, so we can have proper discussions about the field that we are wanting to seek knowledge about. And I think it's important that each individual has an understanding from a macro level perspective rather than a micro.
A provisional committee member should be knowledgeable enough to understand the constitution of the Pi network in order to be able to bring in together the regional and the local communities together. The person should understand the working and have a clear understanding of the cryptocurrencies and cryptography as a general. I also think it is important for the person to understand the social structure under which you will be able to clearly illustrate to the local community and the regional community. In order to be able to bring the communities together, you have to have a clear understanding of the social structures under which these people live in. You also have to have a clear understanding, and you have to be an active member of the Pi network in order to be able to bring together the online and offline meetings in order to keep up with the updates and telling the community of the next great thing that is going to happen with the Pi network.
Some characteristics a member should have is mainly 1, being a team player, 2, having a wider imagination, and 3, a member who's committed and ready to be interactive all the time, be willing to answer questions 24/7, since most people on the Pi platform always asking the same questions. They must be patient, must be understanding that not everyone receives information at the same pace, must understand the older and younger generation, must present ideas all the time and set up a plan. Having a plan they should be able to put forward that they could stick to, having their rules, following rules. You should have a clean background, and that's all.
Hello, this is Attila from the Hungarian community. Our opinion on an effective governance structure is that there should be at least two levels, one for the global and one for the regional operations. The global committee should have a limited number of members representing different professions like finance, IT, marketing. They would be responsible for strategy making, they could define where the Pi network should develop in the future, and they can set up all the global rules for the whole economy. The current core team is by default part of this global committee in addition to the different positions, as they are the ones who created all the environment and the opportunity for all of us. The regional committees will be those who execute the strategies on their regions and handle daily operations. These regional committees should also have some, if not all, the representatives of different professions to be able to effectively handle the upcoming issues in their areas. This regional committee is a mix of a call center, sales office, law office, bank, and IT service provider to be able to provide all the necessary services to the community. To be more precise, a region can be part of a country, or a group of countries, depending on their size, language, culture, and the number of users. For example, some Spanish-speaking Caribbean countries can be allocated to one region, a country like Hungary can be alone a region, and huge countries like US, Russia, China, or India can have more regions.
I think the person has joined the Pi network for over half of a year, and at least recommend 10% to join Pi network, and they are still keep mining every day. It says that the person knows Pi very well.
Hello everyone. A provisional committee member should be hardworking, committed, and dedicated. And he should be well known to crypto community and in social media. If we have some good accounts and followers like in Twitter and Facebook, that will be helpful for spread the word.
Hello everyone, my name is Warren. Any member of the Provisional Committee shall have the following qualifications. First is leadership. Any member shall have the ability to help build a strong committee and ensure that projects, initiatives, or other functions are performed timely, effectively, and successfully. Second is vision. Any member shall have the ability to see the big picture and the courage to help set the direction in achieving Pi's mission and vision. Third is commitment. Any member shall have the willingness and ability to devote adequate time and effort in serving the community. Fourth is expertise. Any member shall have the minimum relevant knowledge required to offer advice and guidance to the development of Pi. Fifth is collegiality. Any member shall have the ability not only to work independently, but also to collaborate and contribute productively to the committee's discussion and activities. Sixth is objectivity. Any member shall have the ability to maintain realistic perspective and keep personal biases to a minimum, avoiding using solely their own judgment, interpretation, or discretion. Lastly, any member shall have satisfied the KYC requirement and shall not have been convicted of any criminal laws, either of his own country or of any foreign country.
Well, I think this is a very important question, the characteristic and quality of the provisional committee member. The committee member, this is, as you know, this is volunteer work. He has to be an ethical person, has creativity in his mind, and he has to be self-motivated and ability to motivate others. And he has to be confident and has determination and strong people skills, and he should be have responsibility and accountability. And the most important thing, the person has to believe in the Pi future and community and how to bring it to the next level.
Moral and ethical characters very strongly he should be truthful, sincere, and hardworking. So such a person can only contacting people worldwide through local communities and also people around the world. He should be aware of crypto technology and should be able to communicate with the people very smoothly and with a lot of patience. So such a person should also have an ability to help people around the world to the lower planes of the society, so that pioneers will reach worldwide to eradicate poverty in the Asian and African countries. This is very important for the person to be selected.
The second point, I think the members of the interim committee should have a correct understanding of the overall layout of Pi and the future direction of development. With management thinking, actions should not be based on personal thoughts and interests, but the overall thinking of development and the future prospect of Pi.
As I stated earlier, this is a volunteer work, so any motivated, interested person to become a member of the Provisional Committee, he should submit a resume or bio to see his skills, his experience, his work type, and also he should write statement to state why he wants to become a member and what can he provide to move the Pi community forward and to make it the currency of the future.
There are two ways that I see this going. The first is to ask for volunteers and train those volunteers. However, it is possible that we get more volunteers than are needed. So we can create a test to screen the volunteers and sort them and then pick the top 4 performers on their knowledge or based on their knowledge of the Pi network, the vision of the core team, and the knowledge of the economic situation of their region and what needs to be done to advance the cause of the Pi community as an emerging cryptocurrency. The second way is not to ask for volunteers, but to put out the test the same way we are sourcing for these videos, to pick the top 4 performers, or maybe 10 or 2 or 1, whatever standard we are using to choose the numbers of people that will be representing each region, and to pick the top performers to the tune of the numbers that we need and to have them represent their region. So they will be tested based on the same criteria I had mentioned earlier. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I tend to think you could follow it up in 2 ways. One is primarily to depend on the engagement that is generated by some of these users in the chat forums within the Pi app. I'm sure the moderators or the admins have observed certain people, contributing to the community at large, and maybe can recommend some of them to be part of these panels, because they actually, are able to bring to light some of the concerns from the pioneers and the folks who are actually part of the network, or in a sense understand the vision of the Pi team communicated to the end users, and take up the concerns of the end users and bring it up to the Pi team. So I feel that is one particular way to identify folks who could possibly make it to the committee. That's one way. And another way is to actually invite applicants, just like how one would probably do it for a job. Identify the composition of the committee in terms of how many people from legal, how many people B2C experience, how many people with core blockchain experience, how many people with social media backing, you would need some folks to promote also. So in that sense, you could even have a social media marketeering kind of membership open to the community, or that could be driven as a separate let's say division in itself in terms of promoting. It's totally up to the team in terms of how you decide what needs to be the composition of the committee. But one way to bring in some good people into the committee would be to actually invite the admins and the moderators to make certain nominations. But provided that you can trust your admins and moderators well enough that they would make the right choices. Another is to invite applications, publish the applications, invite applications, ask people to send across their CVs or whatever, with justification of why they think they'd be a good fitment. And I think you can definitely run logic with certain cutoff criteria to identify who from these teams would make it through. Just like a formal job interview process could take it through. I did think about voting for once, but I think that would likely provide skewed results because of the demographic spread that might be in the community. So that could be a little dicey. So I think these are the two best ways. Invite nominations from moderators and invite applications to apply directly based on published openings or talent pool required for the committee.
Any aspiring or prospective committee member may apply or be nominated by means of submission of a written application or nomination to the Pi core team. The core team will be the one to assess the qualifications of applicants and nominees. The core team shall also prepare a short list of qualified applicants and nominees a month prior to the election. The pioneers and members of the community who have successfully completed the KYC requirement will be eligible to vote for the elections. The core team could also consider and ensure an inclusive representation of all regions. This could be done by allotting at least one committee member for each region, and this could be increased in proportion to the number of pioneers or members in each particular region.
The plan that I have thought about is having the members present their educational background and experience in each field. Secondly, we would like a speech given speeches so that we can get a chance to vote for who should be able to do each position and why.
The committee members should be nominated in regards to their contribution towards the Pi network. It should also be merit-based in that the select also consider it to all the regions that are there. The nomination should also be inclusive in that the selection is done internationally and make sure that it is not biased in that every region, be it whichever continent or whichever country is there, is represented as equally as the countries that are considered to be better in a better status than those in Africa, maybe, for example.
The section mentioned should be presented in the form of video on the understanding, plan, and executable matters of Pi.
I think the members of Provisional Committee need to have great social qualities and talent to keep the community motivated and involved in the project. We want to build the cryptocurrency for day-to-day people. I think we need many talents to do it possible. We are building a worldwide project for many different people, but in one unique world. We need to change the actual economic system to put the power to the people. I think at this moment, we need to achieve that all community people forgot the economic value of Pi and works to create a very strong network today to have really many profits and great value tomorrow. It's for that, I think with our network, users, moderators, and core team, together we can achieve it and change our world.
way as we do in India. So the best way is to contact all the pioneers and let them nominate good people whom they know, and also after that it should be advertised, and an election should be conducted online. Election can be done through online voting. So this is the best way to do. So that way the process can be democratic, and also the best person will be selected if there is a provision to give the complete profile of the person when he is conducting for the panel member.
There is a good way to vote. The final one is to set a website and invite pioneers to recommend and vote. All the participants must use their username.
A provisional committee member must be nominated by the PiCoreTeam and selected by the community through voting by members via the app. Nominees must present their credentials, and these credentials must be verified. And depending on how many members of the committee is needed, I believe it is best if the PiCoreTeam will also be a part of the provisional committee.
Committee members should be, first of all, there should be a form on the website so that everyone who want to apply go on the website. That will also help, getting some good user base on the website, or good clicks and traffic on the website. And so first of all, there should be everyone should go on the website and submit the basic information and biodata, CV, and then there should be a voting or referendum so that most of the core committee and moderators can or some senior members should vote them to elect them, right? Thank you.
For nominating and selecting the provisional committee members, the PiCoreTeam members or the core committee can think upon the geographical distribution of the pioneers. In a particular country, if there are a lot of pioneers, then the weightage should be given to that particular country so that it can be geographically balanced, as well as to communicate properly thoroughly with the particular country's pioneers. So that is one of the criteria, and other things is maybe the academic qualification and experience of the particular provisional committee members also can give the due weightage so that they can provide the relevant services to the particular community they belong to. Thank you.
Coming from a academic background myself, I'm a PhD student here in Oslo, Norway. I like the way that we have set up the whole university, with that we have a committee already established. The first part for Pi when establishing that committee is having a diverse group with different kind of people with different backgrounds and experience level. When this group are set, that group is the one that can nominate other people. But it is important that people can apply to be a member without being nominated. And in that case, people should be able to apply like they're applying for a job with the board membership that are doing the job of governance and are seeking to find the best person available. In this board or in this committee, it's also important to have a similar right to have a vote, so that no people are more important in that case than other people.
Committee members should be first allowed to volunteer to their positions in their regions. In case there is only one applicant for a position, the volunteering person can get the position if his/her qualifications match to the needed qualities. In case there are more applicants, the community could decide via voting. In case there are no applicants for a position, then there are two chances. Either someone can take over the missing position, or someone from another region can have a dual role. These positions are held for a defined period of time. In case a position holder quits due to any reason, he or she can, or if this is not done, a new application election can be made. Global committee members can be selected either by application or by election. It is not prohibited to be a regional and a global committee member at the same time. The community will be evaluated in terms of their own community or the Stanford program. The duration of service is expected to be 3 years and then will be re-evaluated. The reason is that it promotes fresh blood, more democratic and more fair.
The committee members should serve for 2 years because we will give them time to be able to take initiative, follow up, perform them, evaluate them, and also be evaluated. For me, it's important. The minimum should be 2 years. Thank you.
A committee member should be elected for at least 1 year because whenever you come and join to new community or program, you need to take 2-3 months to go through and to get knowledge about that. So 1 year is a sufficient time that someone can serve, and if he is not interested and he is not giving good output, then after 1 year members can be re-elected. Thank you.
I think that probably 1 year is a good term. Saying that, still a nominate can re-nominate himself for the next period of time, and if he's voted for the successful and fruitful work that he has done, and other nominates know him and vote for him again, then he can serve for another term. Maybe after 2 or 3 terms, he needs to take a term off. I think that 1 year is enough time to spend some time in participating in committees and provide feedback and understand the system. But from the other hand, if someone thought that he will be helpful but understand that that's it and he doesn't have enough availability and so on, then 1 year is a reasonable period of time. Maybe even 6 months, but then of course 3 or 4 terms should be the breaking for a short vacation kind of number of terms.
A member of a regional team should be elected for 3 years. This gives enough time to him/her to show that he or she is a valuable contributor to the economy and to the community. These mandates can be renewed if the community is satisfied with the committee members' performance. Global committee members should be elected for a minimum period of 5 years. As a global role, this requires more time, strategic view, and higher overview of the whole project, so a longer time frame is necessary. For both global and regional committees, there is a chance to replace the current member if he or she doesn't meet the expectations according to the community. After a defined time frame, like 3 to 6 months as a minimum, If the committee is not satisfied with the performance of the committee member, with a defined number of claims, a replacement procedure can be started and the community can decide to carry on with or replace the current member.
According to my situation, I would agree with the 2 years term since the first phase, first 3 to 4 months, it would require the planning and about a year of execution, and the rest of the 4 months or 6 months would require for the closing of the project that they would initiate or that they would continue. So,
as a committee member, must serve to PiCE phase 3 because as committee members, they not only to vote but also to complete their responsibility to grow up with Pi Network.
The members of the Provisional Committee shall serve from the time that they have taken their oath of office up to 2 years from the launch of the mainnet. Thereafter, members of the committee shall have the fixed term of 2 years. No member shall serve for more than 2 consecutive terms. 2 years is a period that will enable the community to immediately change an underperforming member and give a deserving member another term.
How long must committee members serve and why? Central committee member for 1 year only. High committee members for 1 year also, but with eligibility to join the central committee the following year. There are many reasons, and the most important of them are preventing the members of the committee from negatively affecting continuity of the PI currency if the wrong agenda and methods are followed that lead to the failure of the general strategy of the PI. 2. Preventing the formation of an internal lobby. 3. Preventing the personal interests of the members of High Committee from being realized at the expense of the public interest.
A committee member, in my opinion, should serve for at least between 6 months and 1 year period. And in my opinion, this is because it gives every other member of the Pi community an opportunity to also represent and also showcase the dynamics they have and the changes that they would want to bring aboard towards the development or the advancement of the Pi network. So I think by doing this, changing them every between 6 months and 1 year will eventually give equal opportunities to members of the Pi network.
If this question is related to the tenure or the years of the provisional committee members, then I think, this is my personal opinion, I think 3 years could be a good tenure. Rationale for saying 3 years, in my opinion, is because the provisional committee member also have to understand and bridge to the Pi core committee or Pi core team towards their prevailing community. So understanding both sides of the matter requires a good chunk of time. So 1 or 2 years could be too short to evaluate their contributions. So also it is not good to provide more than 3 years. It will be a bit more longer time for them. So I think the 3 years could be a good chunk of time to understand and to contribute to and to bridge the Pi core team and the team members of the particular geographical community or the country. Thank you.